Oversharing and protecting proprietary assets. Welcome to MarComTech-niques, a podcast about marketing communications and technology, with special series on thought leadership. Be sure to follow us on social media and on your favorite podcast platform. I'm your host and executive producer, 𝐉𝐚𝐿𝐼𝐻. We are living in a world of social media in which running out of content means sharing too much of what we need to maintain private. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a very private person, but when you allow people in your life, sometimes things stop being private, and sometimes we have to address things that are made public. But there is this ridiculous amount of pressure on TMI, too much information, oversharing, especially when you run out of content to publish on social media, or even the movement of shaming over gatekeeping. We have people cleverly pushing that you are gatekeeping as if you're obligated to share what took you years of developing without seeing a paycheck for it first. This is why it's important to develop a strategy for this. There is a difference between gatekeeping and none of your business information when it comes to proprietary information. Let's take one for example, financial information. Financial information is private because of the pivots you might attempt to do that will appear that you are not doing well. But in explaining your finances, you will expose your future vision for your business. And in business, this is a competitive advantage. There's a clip going around on the internet of Jeff Bezos in his earlier days. It is an interview with Jay Leno making fun of Jeff's company and lack of profits. And Bezos goes on to explain that he is scaling and reinvesting. Of course, we all know the outcome of that decision for Jeff Bezos, but you can see how financials can mislead the public and the company's potential in the market share. You might not understand the vision or the direction for the company, and this can add more problems for that execution or that vision. Video is in the show notes for further reference. It is one of the reasons why financials are considered proprietary information. But when all is ready to be revealed, it is great public relations for the company. So because of this, small businesses in particular need to determine all the proprietary information and determine security around this information. Meaning, which level of employees will have access to this information, what kind of NDAs should they sign when working with you, and what software will you use to secure this information? How will it link to other software that have indirect access through APIs? And how will you secure third-party access? NDAs are non-disclosure agreements, and APIs stand for Application Programming Interface. It is a system in which software applications communicate with each other. It is a protocol that allows you to sync different software to work as one big unit. Think about your Google Calendar getting connected to other apps like Zoom. You're actually using this system through API. It is also important to map this out in your organization, as well as map out in your organizational chart of present and future employees access to this information. Also consider maintaining software updates that integrate new API connections that employees might sync without proper permissions, or documenting the software process in your systems of operation processes. That would allow management to determine future issues in cybersecurity or customer journey. These are some of the things I learned over the years through work experience and through my business. As you grow, or perhaps before you even get started, consider your SOP. Consider white labeling your process instead of oversaturating your SOP system with too many softwares. So now that we talked about systems of operations, SOPs, let's go over more proprietary information. Let's help you get started on thinking how to start tackling this issue for your security. So here are a few to consider in creating a system and where they are able to be used in a certain way or not disclosed at all to the public. We already covered financial information, confidential financial data, such as revenue, expenses, and profit margins, and anything that a business wishes to restrict from public knowledge. Manufacturing processes, exclusive methods, and techniques used to produce a product, including vendor names, production levels, future plans and sites, material costs, product failure rates, and chemical formulas, just to name a few. Trade secrets, confidential information such as recipes, formulas that provide a competitive advantage and are not publicly known. Patent inventions, exclusive rights to a product, process, or design granted by a patent which prevents others from making, using, selling the invention without permission. And proprietary trademarks can also be designated to not share with the public if it's not completely launched yet. So unique names, logos, or symbols that identify a business or product and are protected by law from unauthorized use. Confidential business strategies, exclusive plans and tactics used by a business to achieve its goals, such as market research, competitive analysis, or marketing campaigns. Proprietary software, custom developed programs or algorithms used by a business to operate its system, manage data, or provide services, which are protected by intellectual property laws. Intellectual property, creative works, such as copyrights, trademarks, and patents, which we already discussed, that are owned and controlled by a business and are used to differentiate its products or services. So making sure that there's a limited amount of people that have access to this information so it won't get leaked before it launch is very, very important. Moving on the list, other things that you want to consider: a list of client names, memberships, or potential client lists. This is very important when using third-party or foreign customer service companies, because third-party companies or foreign companies have access to a list of your proprietary information and where your client list can be sold without knowledge, and you can lose your competitive edge and hard work. One item that everyone forgets, and it's very important in branding and part of proprietary asset lists, is your personal image or likeness. Personal image or likeness is also proprietary. So if you're using someone's image or likeness, even from a Zoom meeting, you need a release form with that as well. Without such consent, recording and using someone's image without their explicit permission may violate their rights to privacy. Secondly, don't assume a person you're recording is in the same state with the same regulations as you. For example, if you're in Ohio and you're recording someone in another state or another country, you might be breaking the law. Never assume a person's location and always ask for permission to record. I am not a lawyer, so consult with a legal advisory. If an image is used other than intended and without consent, you might be breaking the law. It is important to control your image or likeness as a brand. Many people dismiss it like it's no big deal, but remember that branding is part of a business goodwill. And if a person chooses to use your image that is not within your brand model, it can cost you customers or future business. All visuals are branding, including your likeness. Meaning someone can use your visuals against what you deem is good for the company and cost you your reputation, meaning future business. These proprietary assets are essential for business to protect their competitive edge, maintain confidentiality, and ensure legal recourse in case of unauthorized use or theft. If you have all these safety measures in place, it's easier to prove intellectual theft or unauthorized use of company assets. So if you don't safeguard your proprietary information and anyone and everyone has access to it, then it's harder to prove a breach of information in some cases. Review every so often how things are being assessed depending on the size of your business, industry, and whether you should do hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly reviews on your security process, especially if you add a software with APIs or software that has new updates on a type of service. It should be reviewed before fully implemented. Have team meetings on how the new implementations are going and if there are any adjustments, suggestions from your team. In September 2023, I realized I needed to protect myself and proprietary assets. Here are some more softwares. Software that can hold proprietary assets are CRM, customer relation management software, financial credit information that your salesperson collects. You might want to rethink how this is done to protect yourself from liability. Enterprise resource planning software or HR software, marketing automation software, data analytics software, proprietary or white label operating system software, customer onboarding software, just to name a few. These are just a few softwares that hold proprietary assets or confidential information that is privileged. You need softwares that would allow you to onboard and offboard your employees, vendors, stakeholders, and clients from accessing information or limiting their information within a period of time for each project. And my last note on this is customer service. People forget how important customer service is to a business. In customer service, you find new customer pain points, new opportunities in the market share to pivot your business or existing issues in your business. By outsourcing your customer service, how will you be guaranteed of these updates? America is known for its capitalist mindset and culture, and outsourcing one of its important elements of business to another country will not provide the same customer support to American customers. Then again, some automations in customer service is also frustrating. You'll wait a long time in customer service, or the prompts for automation are not properly set for particular problems that you have. Or it keeps rerouting you to the wrong department to wait longer to be met with a representative who only repeats a script that can't solve your problem. Or it keeps rerouting you to the wrong department to wait longer or to be met with a representative who only repeats a script that can't solve your problem. So customer service is an asset to a company's future in terms of finding pain points and new possible markets. It should be considered possibly proprietary information, especially if a customer representative is not trained to discover these new pain points and properly document them. You miss out on opportunities in your market share on how to steer your company in a profitable new direction. And last but not least, many of us already know this, but are too busy to circle back to do this in a meaningful manner. But in fact, this is customer journey, and this also is part of your public relations. Once you have identified your proprietary assets along with the software that hold those assets, including software and hardware, which range from cloud-based to hard drives, creating a protocol security system is crucial. So yes, software and hardware protocols for security reasons is important, and including paperwork. And last but not least, some cybersecurity protocol to safeguard all of your business proprietary assets. Do you have the proper business insurance for all the different complexities for your particular industry as well? If your proprietary assets are compromised, this can not only lead to legal issues, but also public relations disaster. Having all the right protocols is important. Contact Isabela Public Relations for your customer and employee journey and avoid public relations issues in the future. Don't forget to register for our webinars on MarComTech-niques social media platform, check in to see our latest free webinar. These webinars will range from anywhere from cybersecurity to different journeys that affect your public relations outcome. So let's do a recap from our episode intro. Plan out what you consider is proprietary information with your stakeholders, your partners, or if you are a sole owner, get advisory on what that looks like before creating marketing communication content, doing public speaking, or accidentally revealing anything you should not reveal to maintain your competitive edge in this market. Define what is gatekeeping and what is proprietary information for your company. After doing that, create a set of protocols around that proprietary information with limited access and onboarding and offboarding per projects or employment, and safeguard yourself with NDAs. But most importantly, find people who have integrity with the same goals, because it eliminates a lot of business problems and it allows you to concentrate on your personal and business growth. Thank you for joining us on our podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media and follow us on your favorite podcast platform.